It is 8 o'clock, and here are our top stories. A winter storm slamming the Front Range from north to south.
It's really icy right now.
Thousands without power and slick conditions sticking around for your morning commute.
Our plows are ready to go.
We got live team coverage for you, keeping you safe and in the know on this Denver 7 Weather Action Day.
We're tracking which areas are being hit hardest and when the storm is going to move out.
Teachers being targeted in Douglas County and threats ahead of a contentious school board meeting.
I'm really concerned about it. It's scary how politicized education has become.
Plus the CDC weighing whether to take off masks.
We can't afford to pause, and we can't afford to stop playing while the movement is still in motion.
Well, great for skiers, great for our dry spell, less so for driving. The snow's piling up across the metro, and this winter storm is going to stick around for the evening. And good evening, everybody. Thanks for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3, this Weather Action Day. I'm Shannon Ogden.
Good evening. I'm Ann Trujillo, and this snow is no joke for drivers. We have seen accidents along I-70 all evening. Right now, I-70 westbound is closed near Golden. Loveland Pass was backed up earlier as well.
And the friendly skies aren't doing too well either. 319 flights delayed and 126 canceled at Denver International, and we expect more delays tomorrow.
We have live team coverage for you, keeping you covered tonight. CB Cotton is in Aurora with how that city is handling conditions. Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson's tracking it all in the Weather Center.
And first, let's send it out to anchor Danny New in Denver with a look at the roads tonight. Danny?
I don't even know if you guys can see my face right now. I'm just one giant blueberry. I have like 4 different coats on. You can see like the snow, it's coming in sideways. Are you seeing this, how windy it is? It's not just like falling from the sky. It's like doing this. So I'm cold. If you guys are watching Denver 7 at 6, I was in Thornton, just drove down here from there. The highways were not so hot. I was driving really slow. And it's always the worst part about driving the highway in the snow is when you have to merge lanes, and it's like you have to like go over the little snow conglomerates, that are in between the lanes. So that was really terrifying. So I would highly recommend that if you are coming down the highway going up or down, please drive carefully and use your blinker. Behind me, the roads, you can see people are driving real slow, and this is usually a rush hour time, but I guess we're actually out of rush hour now, aren't we? We're in the 8 o'clock now, but as you can tell, people are still driving very slow, as they should. You're seeing a lot of white there, not a lot of black, because these roads are not totally paved yet. So that's why I would say please drive carefully. And for a look at when it's possibly going to stop, let's toss it over to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. Mike, when is this going to stop?
Well, I know you're having such a good time with it, Danny, but it'll stop about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. We still have plenty of snow coming down along the Front Range. The darker colors indicate the heavier snow, so we're seeing a band of that now. Southern Boulder County and northern Jefferson County. And it's still snowing fairly well, even up into Larimer and Weld County. So it's going to be a few hours before this system drops far enough to the south for this all to end. Along the Front Range, we'll continue to have the winter storm warnings through 5 a.m. Winter weather advisories up into the mountains, up into Summit County, and you can see that snow is now all the way down over southern Colorado. Another thing that's going to be falling are the temperatures. We're going to see those readings drop down to around 10 degrees. And look at this. We have snow at the front end of our 7-day and snow on the back end of it. So it's a winter wonderland out there. And if you're wondering how you're going to get around in Aurora, we have CB Cotton on the scene.
Hey Mike, we're actually here in Quebec Square. This is a shopping center with several fast food restaurants, big box stores. We've actually seen some of these businesses bring out plows of their own to try to keep parking lots as clear as possible during all this. And we've also been talking with drivers as they've watched the snowfall steadily accumulate, or steadily increase rather, hour by hour. Things really started picking up at 3:30 this afternoon, and they've not let up since. So during this snow accumulation, we're starting to see like 2 to 3 inches here in Aurora, and I can tell you that during this snowstorm, the city says they're going to be using 42 plows. The first priority will be making sure routes to the city's emergency services are clear. We're talking routes to hospitals, police, and fire stations. Then they'll be working on clearing roadways to neighborhoods and schools. We asked drivers what they're noticing behind the wheel. We want to let you take a listen.
A little slushy, a little slippery, not too bad. Keep your distance for sure. Yeah, go probably 5 under, but for sure keep your distance.
My car is actually super covered, but I know it's gonna be pretty bad when I get to driving home.
Again, a lot of snow coming down here. As you can probably see, my eyes are watering because it just hits you right in the face. Now, all of this, it started coming down pretty heavy during the evening commute, making for a tricky situation for drivers. We're going to have much more on that coming up on Denver 7 News at 10. Meanwhile, for Denver 7 News on Local 3, I'm CB Cotton.
All right, get warm, CB. Thank you. And our Denver 7 team will be keeping track of snow conditions throughout the evening and overnight to give you the most up-to-date information for tomorrow morning's commute. That coverage begins at 4:30 a.m. You can also find our 24/7 weather stream on the free Denver 7 Plus app.
Douglas County schools will be on a 90-minute delay tomorrow because of the snow, and tonight's Douglas County School Board meeting is being held remotely for the same reason.
They are taking public comment as they work through the process to hire a new superintendent to replace Corey Wise, who was fired this month.
Now, the ugly side of the deep political divide was evident today when teachers at 2 Douglas County schools received threatening letters on their cars. The letter said, "You are bad. Get out and leave." All teachers' unions are bad, the letter says. Teachers' unions are not for the kids and not for the parents. The whole nation sees that. Douglas County parents, grandparents, and taxpayers own schools. The letters came a day after the district sent an email to educators announcing their intention to release the names of those who called out sick on February 3rd as part of an open records request. Now, dozens called out that day to protest the firing of the superintendent. A teacher we spoke with says the letter left in the cars was just the latest attempt to silence teachers.
It's been jarring, it's been heartbreaking, so many different emotions to cycle through. This was aggressive, it was a cowardly act. It just felt really uncomfortable.
Now, as for the job search, DougCo plans to post the new superintendent listing on its website tomorrow. Over the next week, the board will review applications, and the board is hoping to vote on finalists by next Thursday.
Denver 7 Sloan Dickey's been listening to that meeting tonight, and Sloan joins us live. Sloan?
Yeah, we're still actually waiting for any of those candidates for that superintendent position to be put forward by the school board because the public comments section of this meeting is actually going into its second hour now. The meeting itself just really shows how divided the Douglas County School District is over the direction of its classrooms. Residents have 90 seconds to speak, and they are voicing either strong support or strong disdain for the new conservative majority on that school board. This comes at a time, like you mentioned, where the school board politics is spilling into the lives of parents, teachers, and students after the removal of former Superintendent Corey Wise. The names of the new candidates are still unknown, but we spoke with parents on both sides of this issue in Douglas County. Here's what they had to say about the meeting tonight.
Well, I'm speaking at the meeting tonight. I'm speaking in support of our board. The disgust that our community has thrown at these 4 new board members, I don't expect them to be kind, calm, collected, because I have seen nothing short of vitriol, honestly, towards these people.
We now are sitting back watching 4 people who actually many of us did not vote in, and we feel like we have been taken hostage to their politics, because that's what this really feels like.
I did hear from 2 sources in Douglas County that the favorite choice for the majority school board for the next superintendent position is a woman named Erin Kane. She is a former interim superintendent in Douglas County, and she currently heads the American Academy, which is a charter school in Castle Pines. But no names have been put forward yet. We're going to continue watching this meeting, and we'll have more details for you in 10 o'clock of where the direction heads. Reporting live in downtown Denver, Sloan Dickey, Denver 7.
All right, we'll let you get back to following that meeting. Thank you, Sloan. Now, typically, superintendent searches take months. For some context here, last year, 5 metro area districts replaced their superintendents. It took more than 6 months for Denver Public Schools to name Alex Marrero. Jeffco Schools took more than 8 months to select Tracy Dorland. Cherry Creek promoted existing Chief of Staff Christopher Smith to the top job after a 2-month search. Poudre School District hired Brian Kingsley from North Carolina after looking for 5 months. And even Douglas County took more than 7 months to hire Corey Wise, and he was already acting superintendent. Now, one potential benefit of a short search process: cost. Months-long searches cost tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. We will follow this DougCo search process for you every step of the way.
CU Boulder decided to keep its mask orders in place despite that county's order expiring Friday. And that goes for everybody, regardless of vaccine status. CU Boulder also is providing 2 N95 or KN95 masks for students and staff, and they can be picked up at different areas around campus. A mask mandate as they ease up across Colorado. The CDC says new federal guidance could be updated soon. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky is expected to announce looser guidance on indoor masking as early as next week. And despite the drop of number of cases, Walensky said federal decisions will also put another metric in focus.
We must consider hospital capacity as an additional important barometer. Our hospitals need to be able to take care of people with heart attacks and strokes. Our emergency departments can't be so overwhelmed that patients with emergent issues have to wait in line.
Masks in schools for kids, another area where federal officials are cautiously watching the data. And while public health experts say optimistic trends are not a reason to let up, yet there is hope. An ensemble forecast from the CDC published today predicts a decline in COVID-related deaths over the next 4 weeks, and that's the first time we've seen that since late December.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 8, preventing the next major wildfire.
We need as much time as possible that we can to get those people out.
New efforts heating up to save lives with sensors. We show you the new tech helping people spot fires sooner.
We were able to get a 36-minute head start.
And police have a bone to pick with this fossil find.
Snow continues, temperatures falling tonight, slick roads.